More than 400 schools across Kent and Sussex were closed today because of the weather, but hundreds of others, sometimes on the same road, remained open.
In some cases, parents turned out over the weekend with shovels to clear pathways and playgrounds to make sure that their school could remain open, especially those where pupils were about to sit exams. Our news correspondent Yvette Austin has more.
Business as usual at Goudhurst and Kilndown Primary School. The snow, no barrier to work here. Every effort made to keep the doors open.
Noticed this morning, caretaker, myself and a few others clearing paths and getting ready. We also had an ex-parent who luckily is a farmer who's got a snow plough and came and cleared the car park for us.
Parents here are happy.
I don't work, but I have things that I need to do, which is obviously easier when Ella's not here. But no, it's great that they opened.
But it's a different picture elsewhere. Across Kent and Medway, a total of 227 schools were closed or partially closed today. In East and West Sussex, the figure was 177, whilst in Brighton and Hove, 21 schools were closed. And there's criticism, some closed too readily.
Well, I think schools should only close as a last resort, and I think many working parents will feel that schools are closing almost as the first response to some snow, and the head teacher should decide, and sometimes it will be unsafe and the school will have to close. But I think in many of these instances, schools could stay open, and that's really important for working parents.
Kings Hill managed to get into school, but the secondary schools didn't. So I think really the secondary schools should be more focused at getting the children into school.
It was seemingly random in Tunbridge Wells too. Out of 4 secondary schools off a single main road, 2 were closed and 2 open.
If people don't have the facility to clear the site, or perhaps their parents live further afield and can't get here safely to help, then I can see why you wouldn't be able to open, but we really do try to open if we possibly can.
Kent County Council says it's for head teachers to decide when to close a school.
Our guidance is very clear. Stay open as far as possible. We give schools a very, very detailed risk assessment to carry out in order to make the decision. We will be reminding schools again to stay open as much as possible during these kinds of weather conditions.
Many of the schools which did close today took the opportunity to make sure they were ready and waiting for pupils tomorrow.
Our correspondent Yvette Austin reporting it. She joins us from Tunbridge Wells now. And Yvette, I mean, it's fair to say this has raised a fair amount of controversy today.
Well, absolutely. Many schools have told us it was simply too difficult for staff to get in this morning, while others have said it would have been too dangerous for the children once they got in because of the ice. Meanwhile, the National Association of Head Teachers has been making comments too, and what it says is that if a school has to close for more than one day, it can make a significant difference to the learning curriculum, even if those days that it does shut are across a whole winter. So it says that if schools do have to close, they must make good use of online learning.
OK, Yvette, thank you very much.